YouTube vinyl community, Graham Nash fans, random people on the internet. My name is Giggens. We're here today to talk about Graham Nash's debut album, Songs for Beginners, released in May of 1971 for Atlantic Records. This was a big year for Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young because each one of them put out solo albums, and I mean, they were just like the top of their game at this point. They were massively popular. May 28th, to be exact, this thing came out. And it did really well for itself. At number 15 on the U.S. Billboard charts, the song Chicago, the single from this album, hit number 35. So, I mean, it's an album for me that I wasn't super familiar with. I do know Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young's albums, and I like a lot of their stuff. But when it comes to some of their solo stuff, I've always been kind of like, I'll get to it. It's one of those feelings. And this was one of those albums. I love Graham Nash. I think his voice is fantastic. And this album was something he was making right after him and Joni Mitchell broke up. He was dating Rita Coolidge, who sings on almost all of these songs, and her voice is fantastic mixed with his voice. So their harmonies are great. It's an album for me that I feel like, and this is just my opinion, could have been better. I feel like it's a little lacking. There are some incredible moments on this thing, but overall as a whole, I don't find it something that I don't want to say I didn't enjoy it. It's just not something I think I'm going to gravitate towards that often. For me, it feels like it might be a grower. It might not be just an instant, here's all these great songs. It's like something you kind of live with for a while and just let it simmer. And I think that's one of these moments for this kind of album. Again, it's not bad. I just don't see myself playing it that often. Which I know for people watching my videos, you're probably like, wow, you're talking about an album that's not the best thing in the world. Oh my god. Whatever. Anyways, the album opens up with Military Madness, and definitely kind of an anti-war song, which they wrote some great anti-war songs. But Graham's lead vocal on this is really impassioned, and the energized drums on this thing, the drums on this album are really, really solid, but wonderful background vocals. Just a really good way to start the album. Better Days, this song is really, really nice. I like how it's got this sort of calm intro before Graham starts to let loose a little bit vocally as the song goes on. The drums are punctual, the pianos are the perfect accent to the mood of the track. A reflective song about pushing on during hard times. So I'm not sure if this was written sort of with a breakup in mind or just the era itself, but I really was digging that one. And then Wounded Bird, just him and his guitar, and it sounds fantastic. I love hearing him harmonize with himself. This is one of my favorite songs on the album. And apparently he wrote this for Stephen Stills about Stephen breaking up with Rita, and then Rita going out with Graham. So, the 70s. I Used to Be A King follows this one. Johnny Barbata, again on drums. This time joined by Phil Lesh and Jerry Garcia from the Grateful Dead. Jerry doing slide steel guitar. And I love the feel on this one. This one has a real kind of lonely emotion to it, but I think that's what makes it so attractive to listen to. It's dreamy in spots, and you feel for the protagonist. It's a really interesting song. One of my favorites on the album. And then Be Yourself and side one. Great group vocal on the chorus. You can definitely see this one working live really well. Just a song everybody can sing along with. Super optimistic. It's just kind of a made-for-the-stage kind of song. And I love the pairing of acoustic guitars and pianos. That sound will always be something I'm interested in. So I was really digging that one. Side 2 opens up with Simple Man. And I can see Paul Simon doing this song. It really sounds like a Paul Simon track. A little tiny song where there's nothing much to it, except for the parts where it does kind of pick up here and there. But I like hearing him sing along with Rita. The dramatic strings are a really nice touch. I like how it sort of just kind of ends. If it kind of just peters out a little bit. I kind of like that. Man in the Mirror, Jerry's back on steel guitar for this one. Kind of a warm country sounding track. I do like the chorus chords on this one. I think those are pretty cool. Sounds a little bit like Our House from Deja Vu. It's kind of a quaint little song for the most part until it has those big build-up moments. Very cool track, kind of about looking at yourself, realizing what could be better, looking at the world, seeing what could be better. Not that bad. And then There's Only One. This is my favorite song on the album. Bobby Keys doing the sax work on this one is fantastic. I love the piano underneath Graham's wonderful vocal, and again, more of those sort of Beatles-esque or even Hollies-esque chords. this is definitely my favorite song on the album. It's got classic written all over it. This could have been, I think, a great single. I love how the song just kind of jams on at the end, too. They did a really good job of creating a mood and a feel for this song. So really, really digging that one. Sleep Song is a nice, gentle track. It's what, quiet moments that we share when we wake up and just appreciate if we're with somebody and just appreciate the mood and the feel. So again, it's one of those kind of songs. Quiet and contemplative. Nice little track. And then Chicago and We Can Change the World are basically the same song. I mean, the last song, We Can Change the World, is basically the chorus of Chicago. But it's a real charged up hippie rocker song. Soaring background vocals on this one. Love the chorus for sure. A song written about the peace movements and the times, trying to make things better, trying to make things equal, trying to change the world, literally what the title is, for the better. I'm not sure why they didn't just combine the two or just name the song We Can Change the World, because I think that would have been, well, I know he was running for the Chicago A there, but I don't know. Those two songs could have been the same song for me, but yeah, I mean, here's the back cover. Got a little bit of the same as the front, just without Graham, and I'll show you the inside here. It's got the original inner sleeve, which had the words on it. And this was great, so you actually get to see who played on what song. Really hard to read, though. They made it, like, fit with the flow of the wall. And trying to squint and see, because you're, like, going sideways, trying to read these things. That was really... wasn't thinking that. But the classic Atlantic logo. Love that logo. So, I mean, overall, I wasn't super impressed by this thing. Like I said, there were moments on this album that I thought were really, really great. And a couple of songs, like There's Only One, Chicago, I Used to Be a King, like some of those songs are really good. I was digging those. But like overall, it just wasn't grabbing my attention. It just felt like it was missing something. It felt like it was a little bit lacking. And again, it might be something I have to enjoy more and more listens to. I've only listened to it a handful of times. So it might be an album that 3 or 4 years from now I can do an episode of Spin It Again. And I might really, really love it at that point. But that's the cool thing about music. It can change as we change. It's an amazing thing to experience. So for me, for this album, I appreciate the artistry that went into it, the effort, the time, the songwriting. I'd probably give it a 6 or a 7 out of 10. Definitely not my favorite thing I've ever heard. And I'm going to play it again. It's just, it won't be for a while. It's not something I'm immediately jumping at to get back to again. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts on this thing? It's just funny because, like, he's such a great songwriter, but for me, some of these songs just kind of meander a little bit. Not in a bad way, just in a way that I wasn't instantly being caught up in the moment, if you will. But some of the songs on here are really, really good, like the ones I mentioned before. So, probably a 6 or 7 out of 10, but... it's just me, just my opinion. What do you guys think? I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. So there you go. Graham Nash, Songs for Beginners. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Giggens. This has been Graham Nash, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.